It's a serious lawn.
Oh yeah. Oh, it goes on forever. Patrick's been mowing for, oh gosh, days. He's not done either. We've got a men's event out here on Sunday, so he's going to come home and mow more today.
Is that an Aussie?
Huh?
Do you have an Australian Shepherd?
I have two, yeah. Okay.
We have one. Oh, wow.
They're interesting, aren't they? So
Yes,
I'm in the middle of the yard. So this place is 12.14 acres. We're short to be a farm, but maybe we'll be able to buy some. So we own everything inside this tree, the ring of trees, plus a little bit more. So like it starts here.
Oh, wow.
Pretty.
And then there's the house.
Oh.
Very nice.
And then over here in the opening, like through the driveway, there's a pond down there. The pond runs all through this whole area right here. And I got a picture of it so I can show it. Let's see. I'm looking for it while I'm walking. Multitasking. Look at me go. Ah, here we go. All right. Yeah. So that's the pond, and it's sideways, I guess.
Oh, nice.
The pond. It's kind of covered in a lot of overgrown vegetation. We don't mess with it. We're going to put some fish in it probably in July. Right now it's just filled to the rim with these yellow fish they call brim. Okay. So that's all we got down there. There's a skunk that lives down there. She's just moved in. She comes to the house at least every 2 weeks to sniff around. So where I live by the interstate. And if you listen, you can hear the interstate. Over there's the interstate, and then where they have the racing, that dirt racing, is right there in that area. So at night it lights up, and you can hear the race on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays. Also, you can see the McDonald's sign right there too. So we're right by the interstate going to Knoxville. We're right behind the RV place. That's over there in that area. This right here is a regular field. Patrick made me a walking track in it, and you can see it goes up. That top corner is supposed to be my butterfly field right there, but we don't have a tractor, so the whole thing's become a butterfly field, which is fine. The deer sleep over there in the winter. So he cut me a trail that goes up and around, all the way through, down the middle, all the way over here and down the side. And then we've got quite a few critters that are there. See if I can find you some stuff. I took pictures this week of stuff that's over there. We've got lots of wildflowers that grow. So this is Snefret's friend. It is a turtle. He lives on the far side. They find each other all the time. So that's a turtle. We find him on the far side once a week or so. He comes out and meets Snefret. And then when I was there earlier this week, I found lots of, let's see which one it is. This one. Found these guys. Can you tell what that is? That is a butterfly. Yeah, a monarch butterfly. We have lots of those out there. We have the little caterpillars, and they're eating on the stuff. There's lots of butterfly weed and lots of milkweed growing out there. And then we even have little baby ones. I took a picture of it. I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if it was baby or not, so I took a picture of it anyway. I think that's a baby one. We have lots of those little guys. I think they're the baby monarchs. And then I don't know if I don't think I have anything else. There's a couple different butterflies that are out there. Some of I guess the black swallowtails, I think are what they're called. There's quite a few of those. And then I've got one more. I don't know what this little guy is, but he was out there the other day. That little tiny guy that's on that flower. So we have lots of butterflies, which is what we wanted. Plus, we don't want to mow. That's a lot to mow and or get a tractor for, so we just don't want to do it. Okay, let's go around the house this way. And the house, it only looks this good because I don't have anything to do, basically, because I don't have school. I'm a school teacher. So I got to be out from March all the way until when we go back. So a lot of the stuff has been done because I've sheer boredom. I've got an iris patch right here. When I moved in, they were there. I put in a few more. I know it looks overcrowded and crazy, but it does flower very nicely. And there is space in between, and actually has chicken wire down because the cats used to poop in there. And we'll talk about their fun. I don't know, there's one of the ferals is right there. This is OJ. He just will never leave. He got his tail ripped off some time ago, and he just keeps on going. He's old and grumpy. The dogs think we're going on the trail. We go on the trail every morning. Down here, I've got a Lowe's Rescue. So, oh no, you can just see me. So that's a mulberry that came from Lowe's, and it's doing pretty well. We got irises in front of the shed. We've got, this is my raspberries. And they're just now starting. They didn't do much last year, but they're starting to do things now. We've got little guys starting, and then the bigger one. They're 3 different kinds. I'm not sure. I know one of them short stack, but I'm not sure what the other ones are. And then let's keep going. The house came with all these plantings, these nice little bushes. I just trimmed them. I don't know what to do with them. If they ever get sick, they're just gonna die. I've got some little cactuses. This is the hot side of the house. So I've got some succulents and cactuses because it's so hot over here that nothing else can survive. I've got a mother-in-law's tongue hidden in there. And then Patrick likes the woods here, so he has cut in some paths. He's fallen about 10 trees so far to use for firewood and to clear it out. So I've got my poor pawpaw tree, which, as you can see, I did not find the right spot for it. So it's got lots of little burns. I'm still moving it around. Got some of this nice fuzzy stuff in the lamb's ear. I've got some lamb's ear out here, a couple irises. I've got a fern out here. And then we're going to continue to clear a path through. There's lots of fallen trees. I've got some irises planted out there in some of the fallen trees. And we'll end up making like a shade garden here. So if anybody has any shade plants they want to get rid of, I'll come thin them out for you. And then I'm working on the shade on this side of the house. I learned nothing will grow here except for shade stuff. So I've got some little shade guys. Right now, Rule King is having a sale, $5, $5 for these guys. So they've got nice ones. I do a lot of container gardening. I grew up on a farm that had a huge acreage farm, and I hated weeding, and I always lost my toys in the dirt. So I am a container gardener 100%. So I've got onions in there. I even did some garlic, lots of varieties of plants. On the porch here, I've got things in containers. It's either bee balm or pineapple sage. I'm not sure which one that one is. We've got mint and more mint. I've got some snapdragons and some cucumbers. These are from the trial. So many little strawberries. I did get a strawberry off both of them, surprisingly. Some rosemary that's lived for I don't know how long. This crawling up is a butterfly bush. It's crawling up the thing, and I'm taming it. I'm tying it to the thing. I've got 2 of them. Some plants that were passed down to me from the greenhouse at school. More mint, pineapple, I think. Lots of plants. These are all citrus trees. That one's a lemon tree, lemon and lime, orange. All these are citrus trees up on the greenhouse. I have to babysit. And I think that is an elderberry. That's what I bought, but I'm not 100% sure. And in here, let's see if we can see it. There's a bird's nest, so hopefully Mama will not attack me. I think she's gone. got a little bird's nest in there. And one of the ferns, I've got some more hanging. And then we've got this guy's Christ in the manger, I believe. And it makes beautiful flowers that only flower at night. It looks scraggly, but it will grow up the wall. It'll make this awesome thing. I do my potatoes in grow bags. So here they are. Now, why they're white, I don't use any kind of pesticides at all. So I use that clay spray that you put on stuff, and it works really well. I started out having a lot of nibblings, but that clay spray has stopped it. So that's why it looks white. I've got some flowers here. These are purple potatoes, and I'll cut these off. I wanted to show you guys. I've got a miniature banana tree hidden in there because surprisingly it got sunburned where it was. So I've hidden it over here with the potatoes. They grow great in these bags. Whenever they finally keel over, I just dump the entire dirt bag, keep the dirt for something else, and the potatoes are right there, and I fold the bag up, put it up for winter. So I get these from just a plant store in Mize in Gray. And then I've got more irises. Some of them have labels because they're from the Iris Society. I'm a member of that. I've got various bulbs buried here. The chicken wires, because the cats would dig it up. I tried just planting and they dug them all up. So the chicken wire helps with squirrels and cats. I've got some glads coming up now. And then let's do the raised beds so I can get the heat over with. This one is one of my raised beds. It's all of my stuff seems so small compared to everybody else's stuff, which it's okay. Mine usually comes in kind of later in the year, which doesn't really bother me, but I always have plant envy because my stuff's always so small. We put this up because once again, these become giant litter boxes. And this has really helped. It's just around some post. But I've got, I think that's a stripey maybe, or a climbing stripey. We've got cucumbers, zucchini squash, peppers, onions, nasturtium, lots of different peppers, eggplants there, wild carrot. So these little guys. And over here's the one that I thought got more shade. It didn't grow very well last year, so I thought it was more of a shade one, but I might be wrong. We've got lots of chives, and this time I'm using this kind of netting. It's working really well. I just pin it right here on the ground, and when I want it, I just open it up, and when the plant grows through, I just cut a hole for it. I've got cucumbers I got there, and then onions, and this area right here where it's got the straw, there are mushroom spores right here. These are where my wine caps should come up. Wine caps do like shade, so I didn't realize it got so much sun. I thought that all of these would provide more shade than they did, or that they're doing. So I'm going to end up getting probably some shade cloth and putting it over there closer to maybe end of July, so that these wine caps usually come up in the fall sometime. So I'm hoping the spores are in there. So here's hoping. Oh, this one is old potato bin, and I've got eggplant in there and peppers, and as they grow, I'll cut holes. Like it's time to cut a hole for this one to come out. And they grow up. This one's kind of hard to keep watered, but it does produce after a while. Here's Patrick's bed, and notice a gardener's nightmare. Look at all that empty space. I can't touch it. I can't do anything with it. It's his space. He doesn't want to plant anything this year. But here are his beautiful banana trees. And he has managed to get bananas off of some of his banana trees before. He got one last year, had a big cluster of bananas, which I thought was impossible, but he sure did get it to happen. These are my tomatoes. I have decided to put them in bags. These are 7-gallon fabric bags. They work great because these were the same size as this little guy or smaller. And they have done really, really well. I've got 10 different types of tomatoes total. I've got like black crims, and I've got horse beef steak. I've got German, I've got pink. I tried to get something of everything just to see what grows best here. I've only been here this will be my 3rd year at this house. So I'm still learning what likes to grow out here and what doesn't. I got it on AstroTurf that I bought at Lowe's, so I did with weeds. And then I rotate them around. Like every so many days, I'll drag the bag. This bag will go there, that'll go there, that'll go there. We'll turn them just to keep them happy on all sides. So that's how I do my tomatoes. That's 5 of them. There's 6 and 7 tomatoes. And there's more out here. Over here, Patrick made me a compost bin. So this is my weed pullings from this year so far. This is what I do for fun. I pull all these weeds and cut back. And then this is last year's. And if you dig in here, it's good soil. It's ready to use. I do stick my mushroom leftovers in here. So like if you dig down deep enough, you'd come across probably mushrooms. So whenever I get done, I put the straw from the mushrooms in here, and it makes little mushrooms. You get one more load of mushrooms out here. I have buckets all over the property with standing water because I treat it with mosquito bait. So the mosquitoes lay their eggs in this, and the eggs never become mosquitoes. Otherwise, we get eaten up with mosquitoes. This is my Blackberry Patch. I got a cane from school and a cane from Mary. So they are doing pretty well. They have some blackberries this year. So I have some guys. The ones at school get to be huge, much bigger than these. So hopefully in a couple years, they'll be massive. And you see, I've got one of those things, and the bug is enjoying bothering me, but it gets used. All those little holes get filled up in the winter and then emptied in the spring. So he's going in there to check it out. Some more of the blackberries are on both sides. I've got a little elderberry guy I bought. The other one got weeded down, so he's the only survivor. And then I've got tomatoes in the ground here. I don't like to do ground planting, but I had no choice. I had too many tomatoes. So I've got a variety. I have to replace some. I'm interested to see. I've been having some issues with the soil out here. There's a basil, and they're going around. See, they're not all dying, so I'm not sure what's going on. I got a picture of what's happening to them, especially the one that's in this hole. So like you see, the other one is looking kind of pathetic. So I took a picture when I uprooted it, and I'll show you, because I'm not sure what's wrong with the ground there. Another reason why I like to do containers so I can control. So that's what the root looked like when I pulled it out. And I don't know what the deal is there. They're all like that. They're all got dried up, crispy, and brown. So I don't know if it's the ground or what. So that's the extra. So I've got all those tomato plants, plus we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more over here. And then these are our apple trees that we did for Master Gardeners. They should be way bigger, we know. But they stayed in pots for like over a year. Then I got them in the ground here. There's one little guy and another. We sort of don't know what to do with them, so we sort of ignore them. We need Ron to come give us lessons. There was another one, but Patrick mowed it. It was somewhere in this area. It's okay. At least he mows all this. Down through there, Pat made me another trail that I walk sometimes. It heads down to the pond right there, and our water source for the pond comes underneath through there, and on the backside of that property is J&J warehousing. So our water source comes from down through there, down that side, out the bottom, and down to the pond on the far side. So let's go back over here in the shade, because it's hot.
Very nice, Fergie.
Thanks. So this is the back of the house, and I just wanted to fill it up with flowers to outcompete the weeds. So we've got lots of different things. Everything I plant, I want to be very butterfly friendly. So I've got lots of herbs that I don't do anything with, that just grow. This is oregano from last year, so that the butterflies can use it and enjoy it. I'm constantly battling this. They just come out of everywhere. They're everywhere, and we don't like them, and we can't get rid of them. Underneath or behind this massive tree, which I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if it's a box elder, but behind this massive guy
I think
is
it's the Protinia, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Zinnia?
It is the cat's favorite litter box, though. So in the very back, that's where they go to do their business. Way back there. So I've not even decided how to tackle that yet. I've got some Mexican sunflowers. They come in really nice and really stand up and fill this whole area. I've got some zinnias. I've got trying to get some ground cover going in front of the unit because they were digging up here. So I've got a couple different types of ground cover. I got the little mossy ball looking one. Hopefully they spread. And as you can see back there, the cats have been back there, and I think the skunk goes back there too. I've got some in containers, some nasturtiums and some snapdragons. I have drip hose going all the way down. I like to use drip hoses. So I've got this one, I've got another one in the raised bed. Some more zinnias. These plantings were already there. I didn't do anything with the bushes. A variety of marigolds and sedum and zinnias, and other types of marigolds, crackerjack and the little guys. Here's some nicotium. It's not, this one I think is from the Master Gardeners 3 or 4 years ago. And I brought it over here and it's survived and comes back every year. Got some hollyhocks, right? That's hollyhocks, I think. I've got little random chives, some various things buried in there, some cosmos that'll come up. Various types of flowers. This is left over from the greenhouse. The kids wanted to grow these, and the guy at school, and I was stuck with all of these. So they're pretty. They're different. Got some. Whoa, bee. Sorry. I've got some yarrow. I think that's yarrow, right? I don't know what this is. I've been wondering what this guy is. I think it's some sort of weed, but I have not pulled it out yet because I was going to ask you what it was. And then when I find that out, I'll decide what to do with it then. I've got some more flowers that were rescued from Lowe's. Then I've got some, I think they're called alums. The bees really like them. They're the tall puffballs. So as you can see, going to work. I got some beautiful fuzzy purple ones. More sedum. Trying to get some pretty ground cover there. I'm not sure what this one's called. I don't think I left the tag in this one. There's some there. This is for the hummingbirds that make this pretty flower, and they really like it. And it's right below hummingbird feeder, which they come to quite often. This was full earlier this week. There's my kitchen window where I cook breakfast and drink coffee, so I can see exactly what's going on. There's a feeder on the window. They use it too. That's over there is for butterflies to drink out of. I put water and orange slices in there once in a while. Then I've got more hollyhocks. This is how I do my tulips and my daffodils. I put them in containers and they flower beautifully. They're layered in there, you know, a layer on the bottom, then another layer, and they flower and they do great. And once they finish dying out here in the shade, I put them in the garage till next year. Then I bring them back out, they do it all over again. I've got a few zinnias, a dog butt, excuse me, some cosmos, and then that is litter box number 2 back here, which is wonderful for, you know, when you're trying to cook, you know, litter box number 2, and they happen to stare in the window. It's very awkward, very awkward. Then I've got this guy, which I'm not sure what this bush is either, but we are definitely not taking it down because it makes flowers that bees absolutely love. This was covered in bees this spring. So we'll leave it up, whatever it may be. Got a few elephant ears. They're trying, little guys. And then more of Patrick's banana trees. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one had a baby. Here we've got, I trimmed these bushes. Thank you very much. They're only slightly bald, only slightly missing chunks. And then we've got this, all these plantings came with it. This is my big problem. This has become a grass fest. I cannot keep up with it at all. I tried battling it for 1 year, forget it. It's got that black plastic down the landscaper made, and you just cannot win. So I'm thinking about Pat wants to grow the grass all the way up to the porch, or I'm thinking about maybe using a wood chipper and chipping some trees, covering that, or buying some rock. But I'm worried the rock will burn up some of these plants. So I want to be careful about the rock. I've got some lavender, tons and tons of chicken and hens. If you want any, please let me know. I have tons of them. So we're on the front porch. Here's some more variety of chicken and hens and sedum. One of my houseplants that moves outside. Another one of my houseplants that moves outside. A nice mix of things that I like to just put together. That one is random. It's supposed to have a banana tree in there, but this came up instead. And I'm not sure if it's a true sunflower or if it's one of those teddy bear sunflowers. So I guess we'll find out. The teddy bear sunflower is really cute. It's got a little puffball instead of a big flower. Got some daylilies that were here when I moved in. Lots and lots of invading grass. Lots and lots of succulents. If you want them, you can have some. They're huge. Look at this guy. I will give you this guy. Look at him. Then I've got more of the same planting on this side. A nice hand-me-down fern from school. And then over here, we still got more of the battling the weeds. Some pretty lilies. And then we've got, these are rescues from Lowe's. These pink geraniums. And then this is cat litter box number 3. So this is why I've let all this stuff grow up, because they will go right here as well. So I just let it grow up till I can figure out what to do with it. Then there's a rock bed that has a couple different types of daylilies. And then, which I found out I love Mexican heather. That's what this is. And it's one Mexican heather survived, the other one didn't make it. I'm not sure where it used to be. A couple daylilies. Another area where I fight the weeds. I think that's it. We got a pretty willow tree we like down there. That it was covered in grapevines, and Patrick pulled them all out and saved them. Like saved the tree. Very pretty. So I think that's it. We've got lots of birds. See up there's blue jays. They come and they steal the cat food, which is in, I've had to start putting the cat food in here because they'll sit on that edge and come down and grab the cat food and go back. And what do you do about it, sir? Not a thing. Nope, not a thing. He just lets the birds steal his food. Okay, so that's, oh, this one is our newest feral. She's really pretty. We call her Yum Yum Hammerpaw. Look at that cat. I mean, it's gorgeous, but it is a feral, so. Okay, I assume you want to see the mushrooms too?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, girls. Okay, so I keep the mushrooms either in a back room or on this back porch. It gets super hot, but the wind flow makes the humidity really high in here and they love it. So with the mushrooms, they start out with just the mushroom and I put them on like a petri dish basically. And I grow it till the white fuzz takes over. And then I take that and I put it into a grain jar, which is like this. So all that's mycelium, aka like the root of the plant. And I label it. And then it gets moved into these buckets. So the plastic bags to make more humidity. So I spray it with water and then keep it in a tray, and the mushrooms come out of these little holes that I've made. They're filled with straw. I keep straw in the garage, which my husband hates. And I chop it up with the leaf blower. You have to soak it in hot water to kill all the things that live in it already. And then you put your grain spawn into your straw. So here's what it looks like when it takes over. All of that is mycelium. That is a live mushroom. That's like the roots of our tomato plant. So that when it makes fruit, looks like this. These are still young. They're not ready to be picked yet because the curve has not started to go upwards. That was white oyster. This one's white oyster. I left this big one on so you could see it. So like there's some of the clusters. And then that's what they're supposed to look like. That's it. That's all one cluster. So like I can just take it. See, they're ready to be picked because all their edges are turned up. So you can just take it. Oh gosh. And you can twist it and the whole thing comes off. So I keep a scale up here so that I can find out how much these massive things weigh. So when the scale works, so that's 278 grams for one mushroom group. So that's also more white mushroom, white oyster mushroom. I've got blue. This one's going to be blue oyster mushroom. And then I've got these exotic ones I just did for the first time. These are pink oyster mushrooms. So I'll show you these weird guys. They're actually bright pink. Isn't that wild? But yeah.
That's too cool.
And they're ready to be picked. Like this cluster right here, since it's starting to turn up, they're ready to be picked. And then also another sign they're ready to be picked is if you look on top of the thing, you'll see white film starting to form. And that is the spores. It's already gone through its maturing stage, so now it's made quote, quote, seeds. So that's the oyster mushroom process I got going. And then for Mary, here's my poor pathetic garlic. So like some of them are looking okay, but most of them have come out like this. That is not garlic, that's an onion. So I got a whole bucket of just onion shaped ones or very small ones.
You can still eat them.
I will. I'm going to, I need you to tell me how to like dry these. But
Just
I've got weird things doing.
Grind them. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them are okay. But some of them, I got to figure out something else. My soil's not right, I think. But yeah, that is a tour of my house and my garden and my property thing.